Yo, people, and welcome to Through a Different Lens podcast. As you can see, today is a bit different. It's just me, no extra voices, no guests, just one mic and a lot on my mind. Honestly, it's been a week to remember. An odd one, but a good one. Season's finished, so it gives me a time to recuperate and rest. But the boys are out there on they're just stag enjoying. I've just come back from a stag myself, which has been. We'll get into that a bit later on, to be fair. But I've sat here and had a few good conversations over the last few weeks and the weekend, to be fair, and just wanted to kind of get into it. And I wanted to get into that life lately and how the season kind of feels off, but it doesn't at the same time. You get what I mean? That life's kind of on airplane mode. It's going. It's really going, but there's no signal, there's no connection, there's nothing to it. It's weird. And yeah, I'm at that point, the crossroads where you're moving forwards, but you don't know if you're moving in the right direction. So that's kind of where I'm at with a lot of things. And I've been asked, like, are you all right? And I said, yeah, I'm all good. But I almost feel like there's a pressure to always perform or to be at a sort of level. Do you get what I mean? Never kind of taking a back seat to things and looking at it. There's always just that pressure to produce something in output, whether it's football, life, the podcasts. So yeah, that it's like I don't know what you would call it. It might come under some form of like anxiety, but I don't feel like it's an anxiety kind of thing. I just feel like it's comes underneath that sort of thing. But it's just in a pressure to perform situation, and I feel like that's life in general. That's how life has been. And where I say it's on airplane mode, that's how we're just flowing through the sky. There's nothing around. It's a weird period of time. And it's like when people say, "Oh, how's life?" Like I just said before, I say, "Oh, it's good." But is that the true reflection of how life really is? In certain circumstances, yeah, it is. But in certain circumstances, no. Do you get what I mean? And you sit there and you think to yourself, what's really going on and what's really playing on your mind and how things can change, or are you where you wanted to? Are you where you want to be? And I think I'm 28 now. At 28, looking back at it, from 20-year-old Jacob, would I think I would be here? No. You get what I mean? I'd think I'm in a more successful position or just in a different space. Let me just say that, a different space in life. And obviously that's how things pan out. And everything happens for a reason. I really, really believe in that saying. So it's just not, yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult one to put into words, but am I where I want to be? No, but I think I'm where I should be. And that's interesting. I think I'm where I should be right now. With all the conflicts of interest and everything going on, I'm where I should be. As much as things could be different, it isn't. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with things. And it's like you're trying to navigate the world, but no one really cares. In the nicest possible way. That's what's going on. No one really cares about your problems or what you're going through on a day-to-day basis because everyone's navigating their world the same way. And, you feel like sometimes you're helping out more than you're being helped. And that's where your conflict of interest comes in. But, you got to kind of continue going through these things and going through life and trying. So that's where, like, my perspective on what's going on in life right now is right now. And I find it difficult to, and I know probably everyone does at times, or yeah, definitely everyone does. Find it difficult to like ask for help or seek the help you need in terms of, I'm not talking about like mental, I'm just talking about in general, like for things that need to be done. Because when you're used to kind of getting on with things and trying to do them all yourself and going through what you're going through by yourself, you're not used to asking for help and leaning out for support from others people. And I feel like it's difficult. It's difficult at times to just sit down, ask someone for the help, because you never know what they're going through. So you're always, and this is the problem with the mindset thing, because you never know what they're going through. So you're always thinking about their mindset instead of thinking about yourself first. So you're putting someone else before yourself, which then kind of is not good. in the nicest possible way. It's not good. It's not healthy. And then you sit there and you're confused, which is interesting. Which is a very interesting concept. Like, why do we put the happiness of others before we put it before ourselves in circumstances? I guess because we love those people, and I guess even if you don't, you still do, which is very interesting. Because at the end of the day, if you're not happy within oneself, how is anything that you produce or you do gonna be good enough? If you get what I mean, if you're always helping or looking out for someone else, you're taking care of someone else's happiness before you're taking care of your own. And that's the interesting kind of scenarios I think we find ourselves in, especially myself sometimes in life. You know, yeah. So like life lately has been interesting, as you can probably see from what I've been saying to you guys as we've been speaking. As I said, this podcasting by yourself is interesting because you kind of one with your thoughts and just taking it away. So yeah. Yeah, interesting. Very, very interesting like perspectives on a lot of things, to be fair. And then like when I say that, there's a case of like if you're what I've just said there in terms of putting someone else's happiness before yourselves, you're then in a stage of like burnout, and then it's the burnout or needing rest versus the pressure of the production. Do you get what I mean? So like you put yourself in a state of burnout, but you also need to produce at the same time. So it goes back to my first point of like, how do you navigate the world? Because you always need to produce in order to get somewhere else or in order to do something. But then you're going to have the burnout and you need to rest. But sometimes resting, you're losing out on opportunities. And of course, every opportunity is not a good opportunity, but at the same time, you're missing out on opportunities that could change your situation, could change your life in certain circumstances. But obviously, you want to be at your best in those situations. And with the burnout and the need and rest and putting everyone else's like happiness or life or just anything else in front of yours, you then have that pressure on you at all times. Which is weird, and then you can't really stay productive. So you need the rest, but then I almost feel like with the rest, it takes away from opportunity. So it's a catch-22. You're sitting there and you're confused all the time. And I think that why it's a relatable conversation. I think that we're having here is because I feel like most people are going through this, especially at like your 20s, through your 20s, your early 30s, kind of not knowing or knowing what you want to do, and feeling like some of the years are wasted years. You get what I mean? Just in certain situations, I feel like some of the years are wasted years, and you can't get back the time. And that's the one thing in life, you can't get back the time, and you kind of want to get it back because you feel like you're wasting time. But that's where the burnout and the rest factor comes in. You're resting. Are you wasting time? Like there's always a toss up and a catch-22 within every situation. So you sit there and you think to yourself, wow. And yeah, and trying to like stay grounded when things feel uncertain, and at this point, like I say in my football career, I'm like out of contract, but not really out of contract because I've been offered a new contract. But you get what I mean. We're in that stage every year. That's what it's been for like the past like 4 years. It's been 1 year deals, just signing 1 year deals, and then you're literally trying to, as I said, the production side of things. You're performing for your contract, and a lot of young footballers are going through these things right now, and no one's really out there to talk to them or have a conversation with them about what's actually going on and how everyone's in the same boat, from the 18-year-olds getting released from football clubs to the 28-year-olds, 30-year-olds being released from football clubs. We're in the same situation. Obviously, there's going to be more opportunities probably for the younger player because that's the way the game's going. But in the same aspect, we're also in the same boat as them when you have been released, obviously, looking for a new football club and like the pressures of that situation. And you got to factor in this, like we're footballers and that sort of stuff. We might make good money, but at the same time, you have bills and you have things. And if it's all you know, which luckily for certain people, it's not all they know, and you've got things to do outside of the game. But especially the young players, it's all they know, and there's nothing put in place for them to kind of do anything else. So they don't know anything else because the system of football has kind of left them flustered or put them in a box, which it does. Because it's not the real world, which we always do say. It's like you're not living in the real world as a football player because you're in a box, a sheltered box, and you don't know what's going on outside of it. A lot of the things that like work doesn't make, what hours don't make sense in terms of like 9 to 5s. We don't work 9 to 5s. We don't have normal schedules. We have a lot more free time, but we also have a lot less time with family, I guess, because you're focused on your job. And yeah, there's so many different things, but for the young players out there, I don't know if I've probably gone off at a tangent to the left, but for the young players out there, and all the people that have been released from like football clubs and they're in similar predicaments, that's where like things feel uncertain, trying to stay grounded, trying to take opportunities and trying to see what the right opportunity is. And you never really know, but my advice would just be to try and stay relevant in them situations. If you're not playing or if you're not in a situation, even in life and jobs, if you're not in a situation, how are you meant to be seen? Do you get what I mean? You're not going to be seen being at home hoping. And that's what I feel like a lot of people are doing. They're sitting at home just hoping for opportunities to come to them instead of trying to chase the opportunities or, messaging 100 people. Like last off season, I'll tell you the real, I messaged probably, I couldn't tell you. I think I messaged every single football club from the National League to the Championship. Like, call me delusional, but it's the only way you're going to get your name out there if you're not playing the game. You get what I mean? So I've dropped a message to everyone. And, you get comfortable with hearing the word no because you're going to hear no more than you're going to hear yes. Rejection's a thing you're going to hear in life. I feel like people don't like rejection, but it's going to happen more often than not. You're more likely to be out of a situation than in a situation, especially the one you want to be. And that's where a lot of things, that's where you got to learn to build up a mental strength and kind of deal with those things. And yeah, that's like how life and football kind of correlate for me personally. And I feel like a lot of people can understand it, but that's the only way I can kind of interpret life in the best way possible for me. I can relate it back to what I do. And I feel like in a roundabout way, everyone can understand and everyone can get it. And yeah, man. And just having those type of conversations over the weekend with a few people, footballers, and how seeing that it's just not you. You get what I mean? It's just not you in that same boat. And like everyone is now planning for the life after football because we're getting to those ages where you're like, okay, cool, how many years you got left? Want to play till the wheels fall off? Yes, but is it the right thing to be doing? And yeah, I think that 20s, 30s, we're at that stage where you're making those life-changing decisions. But I also have a back thing in the back of my mind, do you need to make those life-changing decisions? Because we are still young in life. That's the thing. We are still young in life. And I feel like we're just trying to hit these goals so early to, have a great life so early when I think it's all about the journey. It's about the build-up. Like, we didn't do things for... Nothing's overnight. Nothing is overnight. We've done things for years to get to a certain level to be able to feed our families, put money on the table, put things in place because of what we've done. So yeah, it's just an interesting one. Just an interesting one. And that perspective of things is, yeah, something I think about quite a bit, or I've been thinking about quite a bit lately. And I think others might have been going through like the same sort of things, to be fair. But yeah, man, yeah, that was kind of my live talk for like what's been going on. And yeah, we'll get to some more entertaining things, I guess. The Stag do this weekend was sensational. Big up Hiram getting married. Next week we'll all be there celebrating. So yeah, that's gonna be a good one, to be fair. The Stag do, I can give you just a PG version. It was very funny. It was very entertaining. And yeah, the boys, on Stag Do's you build like bonds that you'd have for life. So I've known half of those boys since I was like 7, 8 years old. So 20 years 20 years of friendship, 20 years of just growing through life in the game, and seeing how everyone's coming to what they are now, the boys getting married and things like that. And it's just, we often don't see ourselves in situations where we can just be free, let our hairs down. And I say let our hair down, we ain't got no hair, but yeah, we can let our hair down and kind of enjoy ourselves. So that was definitely what it was, man. And yeah, when the boys get back, we'll speak in more depth because they're on the Stag. So I just wanted to just big up H for the getting married, and I will not be drinking any more tequila. That's what I'm going to let you know. I personally, Jacob, will not be drinking any more tequila because let me tell you, I woke up one day and I felt like I had an allergic reaction because I drank so much that my face was bruised. So don't mix red wine and tequila. But Barcelona, you owe us nothing. As the woman always say, you owe us nothing. But Barcelona, you owe us nothing. It was a great trip. I love that city anyway. It's one place I could definitely move to if I wanted to move out of England. So yeah, it's a it's always a good time in Barca. Weather was nice, food was nice. We don't arrive on time as black people, but that is us. And we do what we can. Stag do's are just great for the fact that we don't get to see each other as much as we'd like to. I feel like that happens with friendships over the years anyway. You don't get to see your friends as much because life obviously takes its course and goes in a way. And that link up and that camaraderie, we always say it when we link up like that, we need to do this more often. And then it's only when someone has a child, we're at the baby shower, when someone's getting married, when it's a birthday, and not a normal birthday, I'm talking about a big birthday, that everyone's back in the same situation, linking up again. So, or even in the sad moments like funerals and that sort of stuff, because that's recently why I've been seeing a lot of people for sad occasions. You get what I mean? People have been passing away, but that's brought us all together. But it's not a good thing. Like, it's not a good thing. I feel like we should really try and make more time for each other, because at the end of the day, you got this one life. You've only got the short amount of time you're on this earth, and it's the relationships, it's the bonds, it's the people that kind of create what's inside you, and that they help you, and they give you the aspect of life that should be life, and the experiences. That's exactly the word I needed. That's what it was. The experiences. So yeah. That is one thing I feel like we need to do, is growing like adults and that sort of stuff. Try and meet up more. Try and do more things together. Just spend time, man, because you blink and someone's getting married. You blink and someone is 50, and you blink and then you're not here anymore. That's how quickly life passes us by. And when you start realizing that we're not here for a long time, I think you start really understanding more about these relationships we have, and trying to dive kind of into life and enjoying it. But yeah, man, I've been diving into life. Let's actually move on to as we do on the Through a Different Lens podcast, some sports. As always, the playoffs finals have happened in all the leagues: Championship, League One, League Two. Well, National League playoff final is still to go, actually. That's next Sunday. Coming, and we got Champions League final, but we've had the Europa League final. We've had, the seasons have come to an end, really and truly. We've just got the big major finals left, and the National League final as well. So yeah, Sunderland, what a performance, what a season. Youngest collective football team to kind of go up ever, I think, from into promotion to the Premier League. And what sight is to see the young players all getting their opportunity, the system, the culture that football club has built. And it's great to see a team, an original Barclays Premier League team, back where they should be. Sunderland, like they were dying in League One. Sunderland Till I Die, the documentary. They had their promotion to the Championship. They built a model that works for them. They signed good young players. They built around them, and look at what's brought. So sometimes when you do stick to a system, it's not sometimes, when you stick to a system and you believe in it, it should always work. It's just how long you believe in it and how much time people give you. So yeah, big up Sunderland for that performance. Obviously, being a Sheffield United team who, were in the running to be promoted, but obviously Leeds and Burnley pipped them to the automatic promotion spots in the champ. But big up Sunderland all the way. Sheffield United, commiserations. But I'm a Sheffield Wednesday man at heart, because that I was there for a small period of time. So as bad as as mad as it is that you didn't go up, sorry to say, I'm not really sad to see it. But yeah, big up to Sunderland, and that sort of stuff. And then I want to jump onto the League One playoff finals. Should I tell you why? Because it was two unexpected teams that got there, Charlton and Leyton Orient. And Leyton Orient got a lot of my people that play for them, and I was really hoping they won the game. But Charlton's also that football club that is another kind of South London-y or London club that is similar to what I grew up in playing against. I was at Crystal Palace, so growing up playing against Charlton, I had a lot of boys from that football club. They're not there anymore, but you still have a kind of a love for that football club just because they did it the right way, kind of brought boys through the system, gave them their careers. But yeah, commiserations to Leyton Orient, obviously losing on the day. But big up them boys for getting there. Omar, Sean, Claire, Randell, all of them boys, yeah, for just getting to that playoff final and playing at Wembley, because that's an achievement in itself. Trust me, that is a real big achievement. And not many people get to play on that hallowed turf, and they made it there. Unexpectedly, they made it there, and they proved that they could be at that level. And unfortunately, not in the they didn't make it to the championship. But we go again. It's another year. You go again, and next year, what do you need to do? You go and win it. But big up Charlton, the football club that another original Barclays Premier League side, but obviously they've jumped back into the Championship where they should have been all the time, man. That fan base, that stadium is a Premier League stadium. You can see it. So big them up for what they've done. They've got a lot of black players coming through the community, which I love to see. So yeah, that playoff final was good. Whoever won, I didn't mind, to be fair. I wanted the boys that I knew to win, but as it's always, football is a sad day when you don't win the game, as I've witnessed this year myself. So yeah. And then League Two, Miles Hippolyte, brava. Yes, brava. Thank God. Miles sealed the deal for AFC Wimbledon to get promoted back to League One. I'm buzzing for him, man. Honestly, so buzzing for him. My Grenada teammate. One of the best footballers I played with. Let me say the real. Scoring on that turf, and obviously he grew up around that area. As he said in his interview, playing in his aunt's garden, looking out at Wembley, thinking about the dreams of playing there, and going and winning, being the game winner, the match winner at Wembley Stadium for AFC Wimbledon, and taking them through and up. And his career's been an interesting one. He's been everywhere, from Scotland to Manchester. He's travelled around, and he's landed in a home at AFC Wimbledon. I feel like he's proven himself. Obviously, he's had the injury-ridden season, but he's come back in the biggest moments, and you can see the trust and the belief that his team and the manager have had in him, playing him in these 3 playoff games. Well, the 5 playoff games, let me say. And he is literally, he's a big game player. You know what you're going to get from Miles. He scored against USA when we were playing out in Grenada. He's won it for AFC Wimbledon in the playoff final. So, big up Miles, big up AFC for getting promoted. Yeah, Walsall, I don't really know any of them there. So, yeah, I don't feel any type of way about them losing. In fact, I definitely don't, because you guys tried to do us with our other podcast, Chatterbox. So, yeah, I definitely don't care about you guys getting promoted. I'll be very honest. So, yeah, big up AFC Wimbledon one more time. Miles, my brother, thank God. Thank you very much for doing what you've done. And, big up yourself. And yeah, great performance from them. And yeah, man, it's great to see. It's great to see, like, a lot of the boys I know personally, and a lot of the players in the community, or players that we just grown up around or just met along the way, doing their thing. And yeah, man, I've enjoyed watching these players. The players have been interesting. You can see a lot of nerves going to the finals, but at the same time, their excitement. And I said it before, it is the best way to go up. It's not the best way to lose, but it's the best way to get promoted. Because when you do, there's no other feeling that amounts to it. I'm telling you that as a man that's been at the player final, lost and won. Watched them when I was at Crystal Palace, saw the reactions, won there, lost the player final literally the other day, cried on the football pitch. Like, I've been there. It's the best way to go up, but it's the worst way to stay in the same league. Because you're so close, but you're so far away. And now you've got another 12 months of work in the same league to do what you've just been one 90-minute game away from. So, yeah, commiserations to all, because I felt your pain this year. Trust me, I know how it feels. So, yeah, man, that is kind of the roundup of the playoffs, because the Premier League season was a Premier League season. We kind of knew what was happening. The back end was what it was in terms of the Champions League push. I felt sorry for Nottingham Forest because I felt like the season they had, they deserved it. But ball don't lie. At the end of the day, ball don't lie, and your position is where your position is because of how you played throughout the season. And them getting Conference League is a success in general because I know they wanted the Champions League and they're a massive football club, but yeah, them getting Conference League is a success. Obviously, I feel like the next year they could probably win the Conference League. Chelsea obviously in the Champions League. That's big ups for them. I'm bigging you up because of Jeremiah, my brother, he's there. So big up for them. I don't support you guys, but big up for making it to that Champions League. We get to watch you Champions League next year and he gets to play. That's why I'm happy. Thank you. And yeah, man, Arsenal did what they did. Another trophyless season, an interesting one. I don't know how long we can carry on doing this. But the last day was kind of down to what was going on in terms of Champions League spots. And yeah, at the end of the day, Aston Villa may complain about the decisions that were made, but you had a man sent off, and that's how things went. So it is what it is. It is what it is when it comes to football. And as I said before, ball don't lie. You play a 38-game season, you land where you land. Like it proves everything. So the people that deserve to win, win. The people that don't deserve to win, they lose. So yeah, man, that's kind of my football roundup. I don't do it often on the pod because it's generic, but I know people like to hear our football small takes, especially mine from time to time. But let me get to the NBA because we have had series. Let me tell you now, we have had a great Eastern and Western Conference Finals so far. Last night, the OKC Thunder went up 3-1 on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and what a game it was. The three-headed monster of OKC really, really showed up. The MVP showed up, and I love Shea's approach to the game of basketball. It's a Kobe Bryant, it's a Mamba mentality. It's something that we haven't seen much since we lost Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace. But it's something special, the mid-range. Like, I love his game. They got Chet Holmgren. I love the OKC Thunder, the youth of the team and everything about them, man. It's a special, special basketball team. And Minnesota Timberwolves, I felt like they let me down, man. They really did let me down yesterday because the game was in your hands to kind of win. Like, and you got to do more for me, my brother. Like, you should be the next face of the NBA. You've got to do more for me in terms of you only go into the game and you have a small amount of shots. You had 2 shots at the half. Like, it's a game. This game means everything. It's either you go down 3-1 and essentially the series is going to be done because you're going back to OKC, or you tie it up going back to OKC. And yeah, you, Ant and Julius Randle, it's just, it wasn't good enough for me, to be fair. Like, you guys didn't do enough. Just go down swinging. That's my thing. But in these playoff games, go down swinging. Like, there's no efficiency just win the game. You can see Shea isn't worried about efficiency. He's an efficient player, but he's not worried about that when it comes to these playoffs. He is literally just shooting the lights out of the ball. He'll take 30 shots and get 40 points like last night, but his team wins. At the end of the day, no one cares about your efficiency if you win. So don't be efficient. Go and be the man. You are the guy. Go and be him. And now you got a real uphill battle. You got a real uphill climb, and it's going to be a real, real difficult one for the Timberwolves, especially against that strong OKC side who are so deep. And you're going back to Oklahoma City, who I don't think they've ever won a title, and this could be their first title, but they've had great players. So yeah, that series has been interesting. That last night was the real first, like, close-ish game. You get what I mean? Well, we're down to the wire, which was an interesting one, which I really enjoyed. I was up till 4 a.m. watching it, so I really did enjoy it. And then on the other side of the bracket, we got the old school rivalry. One of my favorites, the Pacers versus the New York Knicks. The rivalry, and you can see the rivalry stemming in these games and how interesting it is. And, the fan bases don't like each other, which I love. I love the rivalry. The fan bases don't like each other. The players, they don't care about each other, which is always good in the NBA. You never want to just like your opponents, because then it's always a case of you're in the back of your mind, people are thinking you're not going to go as hard. You're probably going to go harder, but you get what I mean. I love when these type of rivalries come up, when teams don't like each other. And you can see that. You can see that on the court. And the Pacers obviously got off to a great hot start. Well, they got off to a great hot start in game three, up by 20. And then, when you're up by 20 on the Knicks, this postseason has proven the Knicks can come back. They're resilient. They're mentally strong. They've got the players in there. Tibbs did something smart. I feel like starting Mitchell Robinson from the start of the game, bringing Josh Hart off the bench. That obviously sparked something different. I feel like obviously with the end game, if it's tight, you got the clutch player of the year there, but obviously Halliburton's on the other side, and you had Cat. If Cat comes to the party with Brunson, and you can hold the Pacers to low scoring, well, not low scoring, but you can not play into the Pacers' hands in terms of the pace, you have a better chance of winning the game. Game 4 is huge. Game 4 is huge tonight. And I feel like the winner of Game 4 is going to be the winner of the series, personally. Because if it goes 3-1 to the Pacers, we know the Pacers have got it, I think, in 6 then. I think they lose back in New York, but come back to Indiana and win the series. But if the Knicks do pull this one off, then I feel like they snatch one at home. They probably lose game 6 and then come back and win game 7. So yeah, it's very, very interesting right now because obviously the Pacers are a better team on the road than they are at home. So that's like interestingly weird, but plays a part into what's going on. And I just feel like, look, I feel like the Garden, the Mecca, is the place where you want, as a neutral basketball fan in this situation, you want the Knicks in the finals, really and truly. I feel like the OKC Thunder are going to kill anyone that gets there anyway. So you just want, from a neutral standpoint, you want the best fan base. But yeah, man, this playoffs has been very interesting to watch. The Eastern Conference Finals or Western Conference Finals, like I'm enjoying them. I'm enjoying them tenfold, I'll be honest. I'm enjoying them like I didn't think I'd enjoy basketball anymore because I felt like basketball that dimmed for a bit. But all these young superstars, the NBA, as we said before, is in a great place. And yeah, it's gonna be a great finals and it's gonna be a great end to these series. Obviously, I want to see if Minnesota can steal one game back and make it a 7-game series. We've seen teams come back from 3-1 before. As of recent, it's not a safe bet being 3-1 up. But I think the OKC Thunder are too strong for them. I think the Knicks go and win game 4 tonight. And we've really got a 7-game series on our hands, which everyone is dying to see from those guys because it takes you back to the 90s with Reggie Miller and Patrick Ewing and John Starks and Mark Jackson, literally, to winning time and all those sort of things. And Anthony Mason when they were playing. So like those are the real Indiana Knicks rivalry days, and I feel like we're getting that back, and we could see these series for years to come because the teams are young. So yeah, man, the playoffs have been great in all sports, literally in all sports. So yeah, it's been a good one. As always, I'm gonna finish with the song of the week segment. And I've been listening to some interesting music, to be fair. I'm going to have to actually get my phone because I've been listening to some interesting music and it has been like something special. So I'm going to, because the boys aren't here, I'm going to go 3 song of the weeks. So I'm actually buzzing because I get to do a 3 song of the weeks this week. My first song of the week, I heard it in Barcelona in I want to say a restaurant bar place. Real nice. Don't even know the name of that place, but it was real nice. And it's called Feel It by Cupidon featuring Mila. Special song. Just great. I was running it back in the plane on the way home. So that's my first song of the week because, we can't leave you to one. That's like a housey kind of vibe. My second song of the week this week is Leon Thomas, Vibes Don't Lie. Anyone that knows Leon Thomas, it's sensational. Like, top tier R&B artist, one of the best, and it is what it is. And I think I should go rap for my last song of the week because I've gone housey, I've gone Leon Thomas R&B vibes. Nah, you know what I'm gonna go? I'm gonna go a track for the ladies. Summer Walker, Spend It, but the Rent Is Due version. She bringing back R&B on a special level with that one, and yeah, that song there's I enjoyed it a lot. And big up to the R&B community and all that sort of thing. And there is a rap beef. That's a real rap beef that I'm going to talk about on another day. To be fair, but But yeah, that rap beef between Joey Badass and the whole of the the whole of the West Coast is very funny because Joey is holding his own in some respects because he is a top tier rapper. I think people forget that he was a rapper first before he was an actor, and he's a model and all these sort of things. Don't discredit the man. He had a classic album 1999 when he was 17. Like that man and music, that's his first thing. He has bars for days. He had Summer Nights, the mixtape, which is crazy. Like Joey is up there. Like he is really up there. When it comes to this rapping thing, don't discredit that guy. He is in the top 10 conversations when he wants to put pen to paper. So all of the whole West Coast coming at him, he can hold his own. He can really hold his own. He is a serious rap artist, and you can't discredit a man like Joey Badass. But the West Coast have some great artists coming out as well. Obviously, you got Ray Vaughan, you got the whole of TDE, which is interesting, and they've got their own kind of style, which is West versus East. You know, we're bringing that back, but it's just rap, which is beautiful. It's the art. It's a sport. Music is a sport. Same as sport is a sport. Music is a sport. You need these beefs, you need these debates, you need these things to keep people going and the energy flowing. And I feel like for real rap heads and real R&B and real hip hop fans, that is what the game was missing for a long time. Obviously, Kendrick and Drake started the new kind of rap beef. Well, in fact, it was Future that kind of kicked it off, weirdly. And then Kendrick and Drake carried it on. And now we're getting real rap beef, but bars. It's not about beef. It's not I don't like you. It's I'm a better rapper than you. And I feel like that's what the game's been missing for a long time. And I feel like we're getting it back. The UK have their own type of beefs as well with that sort of thing. You know, you saw who was it that went at Central C? The youth from Manchester. Can't remember his name. But yeah, what's his name? The white guy. Yes, H. Yeah, H. You saw H go at Central C. Well, and you know, we're getting some form of rap beef or the sport back into the music business. And I feel like, you know, iron sharpens iron. So yeah, that there is special, and long may this rap beef continue. I'll be honest, because I'm just enjoying the fact that I'm getting new music every 2 days. So, you know, when you don't sometimes hear from these rappers for 5, 8, 10 years, and then you're getting rap music every 2-3 days, you know, sometimes you gotta just be selfish and embrace what you can embrace. And I'm being selfish and embracing the culture and enjoying what the rap beef is bringing for my ears. It's just new music, new lyrics, new bars. And yeah, any person that loves music like I love music, you'll enjoy this the same way. So yeah, we're not looking at it from a perspective of, oh yeah, they're gonna fight, they're gonna kill each other. No, we're not on. That's not this. It's not the Tupac and Biggie. It's not that East Coast versus West Coast. And I don't think it will ever get to that level because it literally is bars. And yeah, man, that's kind of my take on what's going on in the music world right now. Other than that, there's just good music coming out. I feel like for periods of time we were starved for good music. But right now I feel like we've got great new artists upcoming, especially in the UK. Nippo being one of them coming up, producing albums. Odile producing songs. I say I would name all the time, Jazz Caris, another great R&B artist from these ends, from Croydon, producing music. Kadeem Tyrell, another South London native, producing music, getting music out there, R&B, stuff that people really want to listen to. Jack James, there's loads of artists, but you know, you got to sometimes look for the music that you want to listen to. It can't be someone else telling you what to listen to. Escape the noise and find what you want to listen to. So yeah, that music is it's good, man. And I think the music industry, like every other industry right now, is in an okay place. Let me not say a good place. Let me say an okay place, because you know, I'm not in those industries to tell you how well it's actually going. I'm just hearing what's the product, and I feel like the product that we're getting from certain artists, or what I'm listening to personally, has been very, very good. So yeah, man. That is my song of the week and my music section. So I have been Jacob. This has been a great episode of the Through a Different Lens podcast. You know, sometimes this feels like live therapy, almost talking to yourself, you and the camera, having a conversation. So this has been good. I might actually do this more often. If you guys like it, I'll love it and I'll do it more often. But, you know, you have to let me know in the comments. So Yes, as Dej likes to say, but Dej is enjoying his stag do because he is getting married. Big him up. Tell a friend to tell a friend every single time. And as I like to say, like and subscribe. Tell your friends, family, anyone that's interested in anything. Just tell them. Like, subscribe, comment. We're here. We're out here. It's 2025. We're trying to produce content for you and, ourselves as well. So thank you guys for listening. This has been a Three Different Ends podcast. I'm Jacob. Peace.